welcome to my store.
Okay, like we say, we're going to start with a series of videos helping out people with, well, I want to help people with all the questions that I get all the time. Then we started with the fresh water, we started with the betas that they can live in a small vase or big vase or all. But one thing is,
Small
people
vase?
say, in a small vase.
Vase.
You know, my English is not that well. Then, but you understand, and I hope people understand. Okay. Questions that I have, what do I need? It is, I need my tank, I need my filter. Do I need light? And what
You don't
kind of
have
light?
to have light for just fish.
I don't have to have light for a fish.
Yeah, the light on the fish tank, if it's just fish, is so that we can see them.
Oh, just we can see them.
If you have live plants that do photosynthesis, you need light. And if you have corals and anemones which do photosynthesis, you need light.
Okay, then we're talking that we need the box, we need the filter. It's like a little box.
Yes.
Because they come, now in these days, aquariums come in all kinds of shapes.
Yes.
Even a night table.
Yes.
And a headbed. And can you make a headboard?
Headbed?
Headboard. Can you make one?
Yeah.
With fishes on the back and...
They actually have fish tanks where it's a tank up here that's upside down, and it has air bubbles rising up in it, and then they have a tank down below, and the tank down below is empty. So you look at the fish, they swim along in an open tank, and then they go up into that chamber where there's air bubbles going up into it, and yet the water doesn't come out. It looks really cool.
Okay, then we cover the base. Now, do all of the fish eat the same?
No.
Or, because I can see, and many times people come and ask me, okay, what do you think is better? I'm feeding I'm feeding my fish pellets, or someone told me that they need the floating ones, or but I see all different kinds of fish. I see flakes, I see pellets, I see crisps, granulates. What's the difference with all those food?
Okay, well, something like a stick. This is for a fish that's a little bit bigger, okay? Because if you feed him flakes, okay, those are crisps. Where do we got flakes? Here's flakes, okay? If you got a big fish, they take the food into their mouth, and then they shove it out through their gills, okay? And they have gill rakers. And those gill rakers are what stops the food from going out through their gills, and it protects their gills. If you feed a big fish flake, he can't stop the flake from going out, and a lot of it will just shoot out of his gills in a cloud. You give him a stick, then he mashes it up against the gill raker, and then he can swallow it, okay? Certain fish want algae wafers. These are like dime-sized wafers, and they're for fish that like to suck onto something and just grasp away at it. You could feed this to large fish as well, because they can swallow it, but your small fish and stuff, they would have to pick at it a little bit at a time as it dissolved in the water. But the plecos and the catfish, they can get that.
Oh yeah, people get prepared, because you're gonna hear so many different names of the fish that after we get into that, which fish can live with it, with who? Because that is a big question a lot of people have. Can this fish live with my fish? What kind of
Well,
fish
what
do you
determines
have?
which fish can live together?
I don't know. I'm gonna ask the expert.
Basically, fish can live together that have the same type of water quality requirements, same pH, temperature, etc. like that, and they won't kill each other.
Okay, but you know what I noticed? Because when I feed the fish, the small fish have difficulties with the big pellets.
Yes.
Okay, it's because of why
It's
the
too
other
big for
one
them
they
to
can
swallow.
pack it and
Yeah.
then for the small fish, it's small crisps, small pellets or flakes, and for the
You
bigger
can
the
feed
fish
small
is,
fish
the
big
bigger.
pellets.
Oh, well, but
They
I
just
see
chew
that
away on the
because-
outside.
Oh, but you have a lot of weight. You have more
No,
weight in
they
that
chew
way.
on the outside.
Okay, do you just have to count? Do you have to count exactly how much do you give to the fish?
No, you look
or
at it
how
in your
do you
hand.
know when the fish has enough to eat?
Basically, when a fish is wanting to eat, he acts like he's really hungry and he jumps and he leaps and he just grabs all the food, okay? If the fish are not hungry anymore, they lose interest and they just start swimming around the tank. So when we feed the Africans there, they're just leaping and jumping at the surface, but 5 minutes afterwards, if you put any more food in, they wouldn't be really interested. So you can overfeed a fish tank, it's hard to overfeed a fish. If you want your fish to be really fat, you got to feed them a little bit, many times of the day.
Okay, that's an interesting thing to do, because a lot of people are very, very concerned about the food. How much do they think that the fish is like us, that they're going to have breakfast, lunch, supper, and how much is enough.
Well, usually people feed once or twice a day.
Okay, but then the fish will come. If they're hungry, they will eat. If not, they will go away.
Yeah.
If a fish doesn't come to eat and is starting to get skinny, that means that it's something going on with the fish.
And usually it's something to do with the diet. Maybe it's not something he likes. Maybe he doesn't recognize it as food.
Then it's like people that
You gotta teach the baby
we have
how
a
to
picky
eat.
eaters too.
Some fish are picky eaters. I've had some customers where they buy these multicolored flakes and they pick out the certain colors. Their fish will only eat the red flakes. They feed the other colored flakes to the other fish.
And all the foods have the same or some fish
Some
food
fish should.
is different.
Okay, these are algae wafers. They're made out of algae.
Yeah, but
Okay.
the average of all of them, does it only change the name of the company who makes them, or some have, like when you go to the supermarket to buy food, additives added, or color added, or all those questions, because a lot of people, they love the fish are like their kids.
Yeah.
They're very concerned that if they having all the nutrients to live and to look nice.
Well,
Besides the cleaning up, besides the changing of the water, are the feed.
well, this is a color enhancing diet. It has beta carotene in it. It will enhance any color of red, gold, or yellow. It doesn't do anything for blues, it doesn't do anything for blacks. But it's like feeding your fish carrots. And you actually can feed your fish carrots. You just grate them, freeze them, and that breaks down the cellulose, and that way they can digest it. They get more beta carotene in it. It will enhance the reds, the yellows, the oranges.
Okay, good to know. Then we're gonna pass now. I see that you have these little lobsters here.
Crayfish.
Crayfish. Oh, they're not lobsters. They look like lobsters though.
They look like freshwater lobsters, but
Yeah.
the crayfish, crawdads, crawfish, they got a lot of different names.
How big are they gonna be?
Oh, that's about as big as they get.
Oh, they don't get any bigger.
They're not a really big one.
Okay, can they live with any other kind of fish? Or
They
just
can live with
by
any
themselves?
fish that they can't catch and eat.
Which samples?
Well, if you put
Oh.
them in with angelfish. Now,
Angelfish?
angelfish have that big, tall fin and everything like that. It's real easy for them to grab. But if you put them in with giant danios, African cichlids, any of the faster moving fish that don't sit on the bottom, they're okay. Now, you can't put them in with really big fish because the really big fish would eat
We'll
them.
eat them.
Yes.
Okay, good. Then, now, let's say I have my freshwater tank, I have it, I've been having it for a while, but you know what? The saltwater fish looks beautiful. And I want to change my tank for saltwater. What do I know? What do I need? Let's say this is, how big is this tank? 20, 25? 20 gallons.
Yes.
Can I have a saltwater fish with this 20 gallons?
Yes. These are 2.5 gallons and they're set up with salt water.
Okay, well, what do
that's
I
salt
need?
free.
What do I need do I need
For
to do
saltwater
the same
fish
thing
tank,
as
you
the
need to
fresh?
have more filtration.
More filtration.
Yeah.
Like what kind of filter will you suggest for this?
Well, the
tank?
filter that's on there right now is good enough for saltwater too.
Then the filtration is very important.
Yeah.
What about the light?
So if you want just fish only, the light doesn't matter. The light's just for us to see them. This light fixture doesn't have enough light intensity to grow corals or plants or anything.
Do I need crushed coral to go in it, or decoration? What kind of decoration, or what kind of sand?